From the word go. She was a natural leader from the word go. The movie captures your attention from the word go. The team played aggressively from the word go. From time immemorial. This land has belonged to their family from time immemorial. Such festivals have been celebrated here from time immemorial. The custom has existed from time immemorial. From time to time. He visits his hometown from time to time. We all need a break from time to time. You should check your fishing equipment from time to time. In a dead end. He felt like he was in a dead-end job with no prospects for advancement. The negotiations got stuck in a dead end and had to be postponed. She turned the corner and realized she was in a dead end. In a jiffy. I'll have this fixed in a jiffy. Just call me, and I'll be there in a jiffy. Breakfast will be ready in a jiffy. In a league of one's own. When it comes to javelin throw, she is in a league of her own. Their new product is in a league of its own, far superior to the competitors. This player is in a league of his own on the chessboard. In a manner of speaking. Yes, I suppose I'm happy, in a manner of speaking. He was, in a manner of speaking, a pioneer in his field. It's a kind of success, in a manner of speaking. In a pickle. I forgot to charge my phone, and now I'm in a pickle. They were in a pickle when they lost the map on their hike. She was in a pickle because she had two events scheduled at the same time. In a pig's eye. In a pig's eye? I don't believe that for a second. You'll finish this work by today. In a pig's eye? He said he could beat the world record, and we thought, in a pig's eye. In a quandary. He was in a quandary about whether to go back to school or get a job. The unexpected results put the researchers in a quandary. Faced with two appealing job offers, she was in a quandary. In a rut. I need to change my routine. I feel I'm in a rut. Since he became a freelancer, he's never felt like in a rut. This department has been in a rut for years, it's time for some fresh ideas. In a state of flux. The company's policies are in a state of flux, which is causing some confusion. Our plans for the weekend are still in a state of flux. Technology is perpetually in a state of flux. In a sticky situation. I got into a sticky situation when I accidentally double-booked my meetings. Negotiating a deal without legal advice can lead you into a sticky situation. The politician found himself in a sticky situation after the scandal broke. In a tight spot. Losing his job put him in a tight spot financially. When the elevator stopped, we were all in a tight spot. She was in a tight spot when she forgot her lines on stage. In addition to English, she also teaches French and social science. In addition to the main prize, the winner will receive a certificate. He has to do community service in addition to paying a fine. In broad daylight. The crime was shocking because it happened in broad daylight. It's bold of them to hold a protest in broad daylight. The thieves broke into the house in broad daylight. In cold blood. The novel describes a murder committed in cold blood. He was accused of killing in cold blood. The documentary examines how someone could act in cold blood in such a situation. In cold storage. The project was put in cold storage until more funding became available. They kept the fur coats in cold storage over the summer. After the scandal, his career went in cold storage. In deep water. The company is in deep water after the financial mishap. He found himself in deep water with the law. Politicians are often in deep water due to controversial decisions. In dire straits. The flood left the community in dire straits. Without a job, he was in dire straits financially. The rescue team helps animals that are in dire straits. In favor of. The council voted in favor of the new building plans. They decided to drop the charges in favor of a settlement. He stepped down in favor of a younger candidate. In full force. The entire team was out in full force for the cleanup effort. The fans arrived in full force to support their beloved team. When the law takes effect, it will be enforced in full force. In full swing. The festival was in full swing by the time we arrived. Construction is now in full swing across the city. The party was already in full swing when she walked in. In good faith. He entered into the agreement in good faith. I sold it in good faith, feeling it was the right thing to do. The contract was signed in good faith by both parties. In good hands. You can relax, your pets are in good hands with us. The company is in good hands under the new CEO. I left my children in good hands with my parents. In harm's way. Soldiers put themselves in harm's way to protect their country. Rescuers went in harm's way during the disaster to help victims. As a journalist in a war zone, she is often in harm's way. In high spirits. The team was in high spirits after the victory. Despite the long journey, they arrived in high spirits. The children were in high spirits on the last day of school. In hindsight. In hindsight, we should have taken the other route. She realized in hindsight that the investment was a mistake. In hindsight, I would have reacted differently to the news. In hot water. The politician is in hot water over the scandal. He found himself in hot water after the failed presentation. She's in hot water with her parents because of her grades. In light of. In the light of the recent events, we need to revise our safety protocols. In light of the poor statistics, the problem definitely must be seen to. In light of the evidence, the judge could make a final decision. In light of the fact that. In light of the fact that we're understaffed, we performed quite well. In light of the fact that he was ill, his results were remarkable. The policy was changed in light of the fact that the previous one was outdated. In line with. The new law is in line with international standards. Our goals are in line with the company's vision. The pay increase is in line with inflation rates. In living color you are. The documentary showed the rainforest in living color. I saw the parade in living color, not on television. The artist's painting captured the scene in living color. In mint condition. Surprisingly, the vintage car was still in mint condition. He keeps his comic book collection in mint condition. The apartment was in mint condition when the couple moved in. In no particular order. The books on the shelf were arranged in no particular order. The names are listed in no particular order. The topics will be discussed in no particular order. In no time. We'll be at the beach in no time. The new train gets you into the city in no time. With this shortcut, we'll be there in no time. In one fell swoop. The new policy changed everything in one fell swoop. He cleaned the whole house in one fell swoop. The storm destroyed the village in one fell swoop. In one's element. She's in her element when she's teaching. When playing the piano, he's truly in his element. I'm in my element in a high-energy work environment. In one's shoes. If I were in your shoes, I would take the job offer. I wouldn't want to be in her shoes right now. Being in his shoes, I understand his decision. In particular. Do you have anything in particular in mind? She didn't mention anyone in particular. This rule doesn't apply to anyone in particular. In passing. She mentioned the meeting in passing. I only heard about the incident in passing. They discussed the issue in passing. In regard to. We received your inquiry in regard to the new pricing. Please, give us your feedback in regard to the recent changes. There are some issues in regard to the upcoming event. In spite of. She completed the task in spite of all the difficulties. In spite of the rain, we had a great time hiking. In spite of being tired, he finished the marathon. In the absence of. In the absence of clear instructions concerning the deadline, we made our own decision. In the absence of evidence concerning the crime, the case was dismissed. The team must find a direction by themselves in the absence of a leader. In the black. After several tough years, we're finally back in the black. It's good to see the company in the black again. The new strategy helped put us in the black. In the blink of an eye. The car was gone round the corner in the blink of an eye. Time flies, and restless childhood passes in the blink of an eye. He changed his mind in the blink of an eye when he'd learned about the conditions. In the clear. After the thorough investigation, the suspect was found in the clear. The weather forecast is good, we are in the clear for the picnic. Once the debt is paid, you'll be in the clear. In the course of. In the course of the meeting, several issues were resolved. In the course of his career, he traveled the world. In the course of a year, the small business became a corporation, which is hard to believe. In the dark about. I was completely in the dark about the surprise party organized for me. They kept her in the dark about the decision until the last moment. Employees are often in the dark about company changes.